All right, lights, camera, action. So, hope everyone's doing well. Um, for those who aren't aware, I believe yesterday or the day before we updated to 0.8.1 in the CLI. So that's using the beta testnet. So if everyone's not using that, please start using that. So why don't we start off with rename subnet to partition.
Yeah, it's almost when I'm working on some compile. After compile, I got my pulling the depth of the develop branch. So once that is done, I'll just push that. Here.
All right, it's a little hard to hear you, but it sounds like things are going well. So yeah, I guess push whatever changes you create today. That would be great.
Yeah, I'll do
Uh,
that.
okay, and then I can hear you a little bit better. Useful Trinity account is the like data URL. Okay, so I think you had questions about this yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think implementation plan is there. We just discussed that what we had to do. It is quite clear. So I'll be working on that next. I'll taking up on today.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go to Ethan.
Ethan?
Yeah. All right. So configurable routing. So that's in validation. Is that passing validation? Paul, would you mind clicking into the task?
Um, but isn't this what Dennis and I reviewed a long back? Or is this different?
It says merge. So Ethan, I think you
Yeah,
just need to move it to done.
this one is a little bit different, um, I think. So
Okay, well, I'll,
yeah,
I'll,
yeah.
I'll
I reviewed that last night. So
Okay.
okay.
So let's go on to the ones that are in review. Remove the validator keybook, update indices and SMTDs, struct catch. That's a new one. The restructured database task, Ethan.
Yeah, I split the, I turned restructured database into an epic and I created a task within it.
Okay. So are those ready to be reviewed? Look at the MRs.
Restructure the database one. Um, yes, that's ready for review and that's passing CI.
Okay. Same with remove validator keybook.
Remove validator keybook is mostly ready, but it is not passing CI.
Okay. All right. Why don't we move on to Jothan? Okay. Handle issue tokens failure. So, Jothan, did you get my comment on the expected behavior for that?
Yeah, so I got your comment, Ben. So the issued field will change, but balance I don't know. I'll look into it. So the main issue is with the Acme balance, right?
Yeah, I think Raj was able to create a custom token, send that custom token to a light token account that holds Acme, and then the Acme balance increased, which it shouldn't have. So that's the failure.
Okay, 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 cool.
Okay, and then prevent refund cycle. So that's in review. So yeah, let's move on to Pablo. So the BVN DN performance study. How would you mind clicking into that?
I'm now implementing channels as have have Dennis a question. Uh, think something's wrong with clients, but maybe channels will fix it.
And what are channels?
Go channels.
Go channels.
Yeah, it's a mechanism for coordinating concurrency and communication between processes.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I guess why don't you set up some time to meet with Dennis or reach out to him on Discord. And then last but not least, we have
By the
Sam.
way, but before we get off,
Yes.
Pablo, it may also be that you need to run multiple instances of your load generation, that are attached to different networks in order to properly load the system. Does that make
Different
sense?
log generation.
Huh?
Different log?
For generating load.
Oh, yes, that's exactly what's the idea. So using channels to launch several Go routines in several processes.
Well, yes, but you may want to run on different machines and you, as long as your load generation is guaranteed to be unique, like you have some sort of seed that's different, you may need multiple machines to generate the load. There are perhaps network constraints. So, like, for instance, you could give me the code and I could run it at the same time you're running it, and we can generate load that way.
Yeah, I think that will be the next step, because currently I'm loading only my own development network.
Right.
But the next step, definitely we will need it.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right, and I guess Sander, go over your tasks.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so major Bach API task. How's that task going, Sander?
It's in review. I resolved the threads. That has to be confirmed. Yeah, that one, yeah.
All right, so is that ready to be reviewed?
Yes.
Okay, Ethan, if you're able to review that today, that'd be great. Make validator key book subordinate to DN operators.
Also, part of that is not going to be relevant anymore after Ethan Sticker to remove the validator book, but there are some things in there for the operator book. So I think, yes, it still needs to be merged partly or before the other ticket.
Part of it has to be merged before Ethan's ticket.
Yeah, we'll have to see about that. So he has to decide that this will have to be merged before he remove validator book, or maybe elements have to be merged from this one to his branch with this. Yeah. Has to be,
if we can get the merge conflicts resolved, I'm happy to merge it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it has much conflict today, but yeah, after she had that yesterday, it was good, but today maybe not. So I'll double check.
I think the task of mine that Dennis merged in last night, I think, is causing some conflicts. But I'm looking on them on GitLab, and they're limited to just 2 files, and they don't look too bad. So I think that isn't going to be crazy.
Okay. Yeah, so some develop some tests not passing, but that's another issue.
So I guess you'll get your test to pass, and then we'll merge it, and then Ethan, you can merge.
Well, he was saying tests on the develop branch are not passing.
Yeah, like test AdKey was one of them at least.
Can you repeat that, Sander?
Yeah, like test AdKey was one of them. Top of my head.
No, I fixed that in my branch. The add key, there's a problem with the ordering of the keys. It's assuming that the order is 1. but it's going to be a random order. It's either going to be 0 or 1 based on the way that the keys are inserted.
I made an update to the one of my merge requests, by the way, updated the key books so they now are sorted. So the key books uses it's not simply just appending anymore. It's now doing a sort-based insertion. So that will cause them to be reordered, and they're ordered primarily by the key hash, and then entries that do not have a key hash are ordered by the delegate URL. So that's, by the way.
And the last one would be ones that have a.
No, just already into that, yes.
If you look in my pull request, my draft pull request, I'll have a fix in there for that. I don't know if it's worth putting in a separate pull request just for that fix, but I could probably break that out. Yeah.
Will be resolved then later. Coming there is that, yes.
Okay. I guess everything seems to be resolved. Does anyone have any questions? I don't think we have anyone from the community here today. Questions or comments, anyone?
I should say I worked on the extraction of entries and I got that running, but it has some major performance issues. So I talked to Steven, and so I have a kind of a lead on how to fix that. So,
Alrighty. Take care, everyone.